I had to call an ambulance, and then they did the emergency colonoscopy then, and that's when he found out that he had cancer.
How did he react to that news?
He told me he was sorry. The treatment was, number one, get rid of the main tumor, which they did. It was a success. Number two, get rid of, because it was stage 4 cancer, get rid of the lesion, the liver where the lesions were. And this third step was supposed to be going on chemo. And so then in July, George had over a third of his liver removed. It went fine. The doctor was very pleased. Unfortunately, when they removed that part of the liver, they also cut into the bile ducts. So the bile ducts are like a tree. And so they cut into them, and so there was bile leaking inside his abdomen, which then they had to install a, that's when they had to do the first endoscopic procedure. At that time, I didn't know the severity of it. You know, I really, you know, you hear about these superbugs, and I just, you know, I didn't realize, you know, how horrible it really was. But unfortunately, the medication that they were giving him for it made him nauseous. So that was the start of the downhill spiral, because he couldn't keep food down, and the taste of food, he just couldn't eat. And so I just steadily watched him waste away. People shouldn't be going into hospitals and getting sicker. You know, I had, up to that point, this whole time he was ill, he hadn't had a cold, he hadn't had anything. I was able to keep him germ-free. And then he goes into the hospital where they're supposed to be helping him. They're supposed to save his life, because, as I said, the liver surgeon never would have done the surgery if he didn't think that George would have gotten healed and been able to go back on chemotherapy. Because cancer is still in the blood. Even though they get rid of the tumors, cancer is still in the blood. So that was absolutely crucial that he have the surgery and then go back on chemo. And he could have lived many years. Nobody will ever look at me like this again. It breaks my heart. It didn't deserve it. You know, he was a sweet, kind man.